Good afternoon, you guys. It's Adina again. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are doing great today. I am feeling, um, I don't know, not really bad. I think I am contemplative today. Um, I won't be before you long on this video just because I have some other things that I want to address in another video that has nothing to do with Saniyya Dennis or anything that I'm going to discuss today. Although today I am going to be doing another reading on Saniyya Dennis just because there have been updates in her case. I never anticipated that I would keep up with the entire case and like the updates and things like that. My intention was to do the reading, to say what I said, say what I saw, and then move on because I didn't intend to get emotionally attached. And although I don't feel emotionally attached, I feel obligated. Um, and I'm trying to learn to follow my intuition. So when I feel obligated, I think I just need to go ahead and do it. Um, so since my last two videos, I have received numerous comments, emails, things like that. And to everyone who has been kind and um, encouraging, I want you to know how much I appreciate that because um, since I decided to start doing these readings publicly, I have faced so much opposition, um, so many opposing forces trying to keep me in the place that I'm trying to break out of, and energetically trying to silence me because words are powerful. And my power is in my ability to express um, what I feel I'm being led to express. And I mentioned before, but I've always found it easier to allow others to take my power away from me. But I'm not in that place anymore. So I have received some concerning information in regards to myself and what the things that I say in these videos. Um, and I just need to put this out there that I knew when I saw what I saw in the cards and I made the decision to say what I saw, that it wasn't going to go well with a lot of people. However, I made a choice to deal with the consequences of people rather than deal with the consequences of who I have to answer to for my soul. Um, and at the end of the day, because of what I experienced in my life, because of all the pain, all the struggles, all the trauma, and all the things that I've lost, including almost losing my life in my childhood dealing with asthma. Tell me, tell me who or what is it that I'm supposed to fear? Um, I don't fear death. That's the thing about my gift and my ability about being able to pierce beyond the veil and to the other side and to communicate or deal with spirits beyond the physical realm is I know what's over there. What is it do I have to fear? You're intimidating someone who doesn't really fear losing anything, or you're attempting to intimidate someone who doesn't operate in a place of fear. And that is true power when you are not bound by fear, because fear will keep you and it'll make you a victim. It'll make you afraid to fight back. So I'm going to say what I see because at the end of the day, it's being shown to me for a reason. And I'm going to say it. And if you are on the other side of the things that I say, if you are on the not so positive side, This is an opportunity for you to consider yourself and consider the things that you're involved in. Instead of projecting yourself and your insecurities and your fears and your guilt, shame, whatever, onto me, because I'm going to send it back. You're going to have to deal with it either way. You're going to have to deal with reckoning for the decisions that you made in life. Either way, even if you hate me, even if you try to kill me, you're still going to have to deal. So if I call it out, consider this an opportunity to get your shit together. I've had to go through the process of getting my shit together. I'm still going through the process of getting my shit together. So it's not like I'm sitting here preaching something that I don't practice. We all have to account for our decisions. And if you made bad decisions in regards to anything that I see in regarding to Saniyya Dennis, this is not my condemnation of you. This is an opportunity. Look at it that way. An opportunity for you to heal and do something right after some of the decisions that you made. So with that being said, I have been responding to emails, a lot of emails. A lot of people have been reaching out to me with information. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that you guys feel like you can share that information with me because I may be able to do something with it. Now, a lot of times I'm thinking, why are people telling me this? Because all I can do is go online and share it or look into my cards and see if it checks out. Because that's all I'm going to do is look into my cards and see if the information checks out. I don't run with it and just believe it. I'm going to use my own gifts to check it out. So some people were telling me or asking me, was I aware of the a man that they pulled out of Niagara Falls? When I went online and looked for something about that, I didn't see anything. What I did see is every article and publication and platform covering this is agreeing with the DA that Saniyya committed suicide after breaking up with her boyfriend or something like that. That's everything I saw. Everybody is, it. So when I saw it and I saw no objectivity to it, I was like, okay, this is a concerted effort to spread this and make sure that it sticks. This girl did not kill herself. She did not kill herself. She is not in Niagara Falls. And if she is, it's because she was put there afterwards. I told you guys in my last video that there were a lot of mistakes made in the abduction of Saniyya. They fucked up, and this was not supposed to garner that much attention. And they wanted to hurry up and close it in a way where nobody would question it or want to look into it anymore. She didn't kill herself. And when I was looking at the articles, I was drawn to the district attorney. I think is your name John Flynn? John Flynn. So last week when I did my video, I thought, let me look into him. And then I got sidetracked. I never looked into him. But today I want to. Simply because you are now at the forefront of this. It was you who did the press conference and made the announcement that you guys came up with the conclusion that Saniyya killed herself. And I thought you have got to be involved in the cover-up. And I know that this goes deep because these media publications who are also agreeing with that are following orders. It starts at the top and then it trickles down. It trickles down until it reaches the masses. And then the masses are the masses. So they're like, oh, God bless her family. Condolences. You know, pray for everyone going through suicide. Um, and the masses are usually ignorant, hypnotized. They believe what they're told to believe. And that's why people like me are targeted, shunned, disowned, called names, made to feel like what we're doing is evil, when obviously what you can see is that we're doing something good to try to get justice in a situation where most people are too blind to see through the illusions. Saniyya did not kill herself. I said that from day one. And I like to also remind you guys that I didn't seek this case out. It fell into my lap, and I have been told to just flow with it, flow with it. Because this morning I prayed, and it's just like, I don't have intentions on waking up and following this case. But I wake up and I pray about, how my day is going to go, because my steps are always prayed about. I wake up and pray every day about what steps I'm supposed to take that day to be the most successful and productive. I'm always led back to that. And the reason being is because this needs to be exposed. Pluto is retrograde right now. Let us run it back and see what is hiding underneath the surface of this country. Because this story isn't just about Saniyya. This story is about what goes on behind the scenes internationally. This goes into a shadow government. Who is really calling the shots behind the scenes, and what organizations is running while American citizens are too busy with entertainment, TikTok, OnlyFans, debating music, debating politics, and causing division amongst political parties and presidents in order to see that it's all an illusion, to keep you from being able to see what's really going on. And there is something really going on, and it always has been. It's what this country was founded on, blood. Because the people who run this country are a part of interesting beliefs, practices, and beliefs. I'll say it that way. And in order for them to remain a superpower, requires blood, lots of it. You don't become a superpower without a lot of sacrifice. Everything requires sacrifice. Everything. You go to the store and buy groceries, you got to sacrifice some money. You get married, you got to sacrifice your singleness, your ability to do as you please. Everything is a sacrifice and an exchange of something. And to whom much is given, much is required. This stuff is becoming exposed. America hasn't had any bloodshed in a long time. We haven't had any real wars or any real fighting like that since the Obama administration. And since then, there has been a lot of exposing of things going on. And the reason for that is because it's time. It's time for the children of captivity to go and inherit the promised land. But first, they have to conquer the people occupying their land. Our parents aren't going to go. Sorry, baby boomer generation, the most of you, you spend all of your time in this captivity wandering around the desert, unafraid and unable to let go of the habits and beliefs that you picked up while you were in captivity. And your children who weren't as indoctrinated or weren't indoctrinated enough to unlearn what they learned in captivity and relearn the truth about God, we are the ones who are going to move forward because you're stubborn and stiff-necked. And your whole generation is going to have to die away before you can see the fullness of what we're trying to accomplish. Because you're waiting for something else when you already got what you prayed for. That's Bible, that's Exodus. And I'm going to do a live to talk about that too, because it's relevant in my life and it's relevant in today. And it's a message that comes straight from God that needs to be delivered to the generation of our parents because they don't get it. And they're all reaching the age of, they're all up there in age. And they've only glimpsed, they can only look at what we've begun doing. All the things that we've been able to accomplish that they never imagined. And that's because they spent all this time in captivity debating religion, ignoring their own divine inheritance as children of God themselves. You gave someone else your power. You were so used to being captives that you couldn't break free from what you learned in captivity. Meanwhile, your captors, they practice your inheritance. The spiritual beliefs that made us powerful kingdoms and nations. When we were conquered, they took those and they started practicing them. And then they gave us something else, something to keep us enslaved. However, the truth is still revealed in the text. It's just you don't have eyes to see because you're still drinking milk. Meanwhile, your children are getting meat because our minds aren't so indoctrinated. Our minds aren't so boxed in. We are not limiting God and telling God what it is or what it isn't. We were born in a generation that came for this specific purpose, and as hard-headed and stiff-necked as most of our elders are, you can't stop us. You can't stop what God is doing. You can only put yourself on the opposing side. And you're not opposing us. You're opposing God's work. That's why all of this is happening at the age that you are now. Because you guys are only going to be able to look over and glimpse into it like Moses. But you won't inherit it. Sorry to say it. That's actually what I was supposed to deliver in that last message, and I'm still going to do it in my next video. However, we're just going to get right into Saniyya. So, District Attorney John Flynn, are you purposely misleading people about Saniyya's case because you are cooperating in the efforts to cover up what really happened to her? District Attorney John Flynn, are you misleading people on purpose? Is this your job to get up and say that she committed suicide in order to close this case and have no one look into your sex trafficking ring? Are you aware of it? Or are you just a puppet, somebody that they use to deliver this message and you have no aware? Even though, before I look at this card, no, you know exactly what you're doing. It's actually why you got the position that you got. It's why you've been placed in your position. And you've been a part of it. I almost believe that you were born into this cabal, this organization. Hmm. I got the Chariot card, and it makes me feel like you're in control of this. You're in control of moving this forward. This Chariot is an Emperor. This is usually such a good card, but it doesn't make me feel good in this instance as I look at it. Okay. You, okay, so this is you, District Attorney Flynn. I see you on a podium at a press conference. This is you standing at that podium at the press conference. Wisdom and understanding are beneath you. You know exactly what you're doing. And in between wisdom and understanding is what's behind the veil. Remember the high priestess card and the two pillars? I'll give you guys a lesson one day on pillars. Um, one day when you're ready for meat. But today, this is you at your press conference. But these are secrets. These are secrets that you're meant to protect. Behind you, an empire. Your job is to get up there, protect the secrets and the empire. That is your job. Your job is to be the public face that blocks everything that tries to infiltrate this empire. That's your job, District Attorney John Flynn. This is your job within the cabal, is to get up there and protect the secrets of that empire. I know you, not in a physical sense, but I know you. I see you. I don't need these cards, guys. When I decided to look into it this morning, of course I pulled up an article. I didn't need to read it. You guys, I actually skim these articles. I look at the face, I look at the headline, and then I see everything so clear. So I'm really just doing this for you guys because if I sit here and tell you just without the cards, no, this, and this, and this, oh, sometimes people need imagery, because not everybody trusts everybody's intuition. I see you. I actually see everything. I see it all. Um, which is why I didn't feel the need to continue doing these videos because it's almost just like I already know what is going on. The only thing I'll be doing is attracting more hateful and bullying and intimidation tactics from affiliates of this organization because that's what I've been experiencing. Y'all aren't slick. Removing comments on my YouTube, um, sending me messages about my lack of followers, how much I suck, how crazy I am, all that other stuff, trying to make me feel guilty about Saniyya's family, all of these intimidation tactics. I already know how this stuff works, but you got the wrong one. John Flynn. I'm going to clarify this Chariot card because I just want to look into you. There's an empire that you guys don't want anyone to know about. And it's international and it's ancient. It not ancient, but it's been around for a very long time. These cards came out right next to each other. Right next to, okay. Here's my Saudi card again. This and this is a foreign organization. It's old, from the past. Can't be spoken about. Needs to be spoken about, but can't be spoken about. The Death in Reverse and the Devil card. Okay. District Attorney John Flynn, you are protecting this empire, this international empire. Saudi Arabia, I'm clocking y'all. Just like y'all clocking me. After I posted part 2 of Saniyya Dennis's video, and I specifically called out Saudi Arabia for being involved some way, or Saudi Arabians being involved in some way, guess how many friend requests on Facebook that I got from newly formed accounts based in New York with Saudi Arabians? 7 of them. 7 within 24 hours of me releasing that video. So I see y'all just like y'all see me. But y'all are more afraid than me. So y'all are more afraid than me. You got more to lose than me. That sucks, doesn't it? Okay. I also want to look back into the mother because I can't get you off of my mind. I can't. Maybe because of a situation that I'm experiencing with my own mother is why I just. It's almost like I want to believe that I'm wrong about you, but I know I'm right. Saniyya's mother. And I almost don't want to look into you because you're not the bigger picture here. I know what you've done. I know your involvement, and I'm not gonna beat a dead horse because you're not the bigger picture. You're almost a victim too, a victim of circumstance and poverty. And even though you made a decision, your guilt. So I almost don't want. I don't know what else to look into because I wanted to look into District Attorney John Flynn, but I clearly said that he's involved. And he is making sure that everybody believes that Saniyya killed herself. There have been all these touching articles and stuff about suicide prevention, trying to pull on people's emotions and get them emotionally involved in the fact that she is dead by suicide. Our emotions fuel our thoughts and our actions. And so if you are emotionally connected to her committing suicide, then you will believe your mind, your your emotions are the fuel for this engine. And then this engine is the fuel for our physical movement. So once you're emotionally attached to that idea, then it becomes what your whole being believes. My job here is to counter that and to make sure that at least there's somebody here who who knows the truth. This girl did not commit suicide. Um, I think about what she was studying and how valuable her energy is. She was chosen because of her energy. They knew how smart she was. Okay, this isn't just about sex. This is about consuming energy for power. I had a dream a couple of years ago. For those who know me, I when I can't see because my mind blocks my intuition sometimes through second guessing myself. When I go to sleep, it'll get me. The message gets across either when I'm awake or when I'm asleep. But I had this dream in a time where I was not fully embracing my spirituality, my abilities. So I was dreaming a lot. And in this dream, I was on a ship in the middle of an ocean, although it wasn't in the middle of the ocean because it was docked. Um, and I was standing, looking out into the ocean, looking over the rail. And I looked up and I saw this light. I believe it was purple, falling from the sky, and it landed into the ocean like a bomb. And then from this, okay, so after it landed in the ocean, it created like this huge ass whirlpool situation. And then out of the ocean came a beast. It looked like a leviathan. And then when this thing rose from the sea, out with it came these ghoulish looking Chinese soldiers. They they look like the old school vintage Chinese soldiers, like they had the the old attire, old military attire. Their weaponry was like old. It was just like those musket guns with the pokey things on the end. Um, and they came out of the ocean and aboard this ship, and then all havoc broke loose. There were people on this boat already, but then after these Chinese ghoul soldiers rose up with this Leviathan, there was a lot of chaos and fighting aboard this ship. It was war. So I ran for safety. I ran into a cabin and I ran to hide behind a bed. And one of the Chinese soldiers came in and found me. And right when he was about to shoot me, this bright light flashed in front of me, and I was transported off of the ship onto the dock. So start walking away from this ship, this war that's going on. And as I look back at it, sparks flying, people screaming, complete war. But I walked away from it and I start walking towards this town. It looked like a deserted town. There were tumbleweeds flying around. And I'm walking and I'm observing. Just walking along, looking left and right. I see abandoned buildings on the right of me. On the left, though, there's a forest. And I'm walking along, and I look into the forest, and what do I see? I see a group of people in purple hooded robes in front of a tree, and they were chanting. So this dream was brought to my attention yesterday, because I was doing the dishes actually, and I was in my thoughts. Actually, I was seeing things lately. Um, my intuition has been, um, it has been at peak. So sometimes I just sit here with myself, and I hear, I see. Um, so it made me think about that missile that everyone's talking about that is supposed to land in the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know much about that story because I don't really keep up with those things. Like I said, I deal with things behind the scenes, the spiritual and energetic um, matters behind what happens physically. And I've actually been really preoccupied with my own situation. However, it made me think of that. And it made me think of something being exposed due to this event. So I just want to put that out there because I don't know how that connects. But I feel like it has something to do with not necessarily Saniyya Dennis in specific, but exposing this cabal. Um, so let me ask, is Saniyya Dennis's case going to expose something on a large scale about, I don't even want to call it a trafficking ring because it's bigger than that. Trafficking is just one of the businesses that they're involved in. This is a group of people who practice dark arts, and they're ancient, they're old, probably older than this country. It's generational, and it pervades every single aspect of what this country is built on. There is no such thing as a conspiracy theory. Is Saniyya Dennis's case going to lend any information or help to expose this on a large scale? And that's why they want to keep this quiet. I don't know. I have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and that means investing in something that you don't necessarily get an instant reward from. However, it doesn't mean to give up. It means you just don't see how your investment is going to work in the long run. So I can't even look at a card on the bottom because it's open and closed. This case is supposed to be open and closed so that no one can. Okay, so yes, the case is supposed to be open and closed so that there will be no reward from looking into this. But a card in reverse isn't a solid no. It just means just because you don't see it happening right now doesn't mean that your investment won't pay off. So one day this is going to be exposed, and Saniyya won't go. Her energy won't go in vain. Hmm. All right, well, that's all I have today. I'm going to pull a Moonology card because I almost feel like I only came here to look into District Attorney John Flynn and to let you guys know real quick. Don't trust him either. He is a part of this cabal. Um, and they're protecting more than just their excuse me, they're protecting more than just their businesses. They lose those, they lose everything, and the power and the money behind it. But if they lose out on their trafficking rings, then they lose the ability to keep using children for their energy. When children are tortured, there is a chemical that I believe that their brain produces. It's not adrenaline, it's not DMT, um, but it's like a elixir of life. The blood helps keep them in power. Their energy, though, these people are either in alliance with or are descendants of beings that may or may not be completely, entirely human, ancient beings. Okay, that's too much for y'all. But nothing will come of this situation. On the bottom, conclusions are within reach, though. So, no, Saniyya Dennis's case is not going to expose this, but it will be eventually. They will be successful in, making this disappear. Or not just making it disappear, but, making people move on from it. Just because it's such a large organization that they're just really good at what they do because they've been doing it since the inception of this country. And it'll take a lot more of us to band together and expose it. And I believe that after mm, after the baby boomer generation is pretty much gone, things will change because there's an energetic blockage um, as long as they're here because they still have enough influence to keep people who are meant to go and conquer there's still an energetic block that's keeping them from accessing their own power. It's called religion. So it's going to have to die out. Those old beliefs are going to have to die out so that the living word can be shown. And I'm just going to leave that at that, because if I continue talking, then it's going to be off topic of Saniyya. However, if you're interested in the next message that I'm going to be talking about, dealing specifically with what I just said, then you can feel free to watch that video. And if not, prayers for Saniyya, prayers for her family, and for those who are working to change things. Don't give up, and don't let anybody silence you and steal your power.